In this video, I'm explaining the poem The Tale of Custard the Dragon, written by Ogden Nash. He is an American poet who was famous for his light verse, and he was also known as a producer of humorous poetry. And this poem, The Tale of Custard the Dragon, is a ballad. A ballad means a short narrative description in a short stanzas is called a ballad. And this poem is a humorous poem about a cowardly dragon named Custard. And Custard is a pet of Belinda, a little girl who lives in a little white house with her pets. And here we can see that how the nature of the dragon has changed all of a sudden. And the poet has also tried to say that sometimes a timid person is the actual hero in the toughest situations of life. Now let's go to the poem in detail. Now I'll explain each stanza in detail. The stanza 1 goes like this. Belinda lived in a little white house with a little black kitten and a little grey mouse and a little yellow dog and a little red wagon and a real little pet dragon. In this stanza, the poet says that once there was a little girl named Belinda, and she lived in a little white house. She lived with some creatures who were her pets, and the pets were a black kitten, a grey mouse, a yellow dog, and a little red wagon, and a creature that the poet says was really and truly a dragon. See, here the poet has used the word realo and truelo just to show the word really and truly. And the word meaning a wagon is a vehicle used for transporting goods or another specific purpose. Now let's focus on the poetic devices used in this stanza. First of all, we can see the rhyme scheme is AABB because house, mouse, wagon and dragon. Then you can see the repetition of the word little is being repeated. Little black kitten, little white house, little grey mouse, little yellow dog. So the word little is repeated. So the poetic device is repetition. Then we can see the poet has used oxymoron. Oxymoron means when we are using two different opposite words. Like for example, pet dragon. A dragon is a dangerous animal and it can't be a pet. So the poet has purposefully used the word pet along with the dragon. That is why the poetic device is oxymoron. Then we have anaphora. Anaphora means repeated use of word at the start of two consecutive lines. See, here you can see the word and a little in the two different sentences. So that is why the poetic device is anaphora. Repeated use of a word at the start of two consecutive lines. And we can see refrain is also there. Refrain means a repetition of an entire sentence again and again. Here the poet has used the word and trilo and realo. These words have been repeated. So we can say the poetic device is refrain. And again the poet has used one more poetic device, that is poetic license. Poetic license means, see, when you're searching in a dictionary about these word meanings, realo and truelo, you will not get these words because this is not a normal English word. The poet has made this word just for his poetry. The word meaning of realo is real and the word meaning of truelo is true. The spellings have been changed to create a musical effect by the poet, and that is called poetic license. The second stanza. Now the name of the little black kitten was Ink, and the little grey mouse, she called him Blink, and the little yellow dog was sharp as mustard, but the dragon was a coward, and she called him Custard. In this stanza, the poet explains the name of all the animals that are tamed by Belinda. He says that the name of black kitten is Ink. The name of grey mouse is Blink. The little yellow dog had yellow color and so she calls him Mustard. And the dragon that was a coward was a weakling, was called Custard. So all the animals are good except the dragon. The dragon has been named as a custard because it's a coward. It's a weak animal. It is not having the courage. That is why it has been named as coward. Now let's have a look at the literary devices of the second stanza. First of all, we have rhyme scheme, and it is AABB, ink, blink, mustard and custard. Then you can see the poetry device simile. The dog has been compared to mustard, and you can see in the stanza, and the little yellow dog was sharp as mustard. So the little dog, yellow dog, was being compared to mustard with the help of the word as. If you are using like or as to compare two different objects, that is called simile. And here you can see the poetry device alliteration. Alliteration means repetition of the consonant sound. C sound is being repeated. Covered, called and custard. C sound is repeated. Then we have anaphora. Anaphora means repeated use of word at the start of two consecutive lines. See, you can see and the little grey and the little yellow. And the little is being repeated. So that is anaphora. Then we can see the repetition of the word little. You can see little is being repeated many times. Little black kitten, little grey mouse, little yellow dog. All these are being repeated. Little is being repeated. So the poetry device there is a repetition. The third stanza goes like this. Custard the dragon had big sharp teeth, and spikes on top of him and scales underneath. Mouth like a fireplace, chimney for a nose, and trielo daggers on his toes. See here, the poet describes the dragon, and he says that the dragon is so big and it had big sharp teeth and spikes on top. Spikes means a thin pointed surface, and this means that its skin was pointed on the top. And on the lower part, the dragon had scales, which are bony plates to protect the skin. And his mouth has been compared to a fireplace because it is assumed that dragon can release fire from the mouth. And even his nose is compared to a chimney, which is used to pass out smoke. And his feet are like a sharp knife, that is just like a dagger. In this stanza, we can first see the rhyme scheme as AABB, teeth, underneath, nose, toes. Then you can see dragon's mouth is compared with fireplace. The poet has compared dragon's mouth with the fireplace. You can see in the third line, mouth like a fireplace. Like, the word like is being used here to compare mouth with the fireplace. Then we can say the poetry devices simile. Then we have again a refrain, because repetition of a sentence again and again, that is rielo and truello, that sentence. Then we have metaphor. Metaphor is a comparison of two different objects without the help of like or as. And here you can see chimney for a nose. Chimney is being, the nose has been compared with the chimney. The nose is like a chimney. But the poet hasn't used the word like or as. Then the poetry device used there is metaphor.